Traveling in Minecraft. Something so basic as this has a history on 2b2t, otherwise known as the oldest anarchy server in Minecraft. Normally you would travel by walking, going out by horseback, boats, or even the elytra. But for 2b2t players, this isn't enough. Since 2b2t is an anarchy server, this actively pushes the player base to find faster ways of travel at all times. I've spent months of research editing this video and putting it together to showcase over 10 years of 2b2t history. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it would really mean a lot to me. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. In the early days of 2b2t, traveling, a lot like Minecraft, was simple. There was no hunger bar, no stacking food, there wasn't even sprinting yet. The game was so simple that you could walk endlessly with no consequences, except if you were to get damaged and eventually die. Hack clients were not even a thing yet. Only very few people in the community had hacks at this point, and they were mostly developed by themselves, since public hack clients were not available at the time. If you were one of the lucky few to use a hack client, 2b2t at the time had almost no anti-cheat, so you could use almost any of those hacks with no issues whatsoever. Famous 4chaner Luke to the Bun was one of the first known players to use a hack client in 2b2t history, who did so in early 2011. Pop Bob was also an infamous early hack client user. Entity Speed was such a powerful hack that revolutionized 2b2t travel. Players in 2012 often use animals to travel, traveling on horses and pigs. But the pigs were the dominant form of travel across large distances using an exploit called Entity Speed, which allowed players to travel extremely fast on animals. Entity Speed was patched in 2019 after Housemaster, the server owner, made a Reddit post announcing the upcoming patch. Entities were unable to go through portals in 2020, but this was reverted along with the Entity Speed nerf. Just so you can understand how big of a deal this is, let's just put this into perspective. It takes 30 million blocks with an M to get to the world border on 2b2t. That's about 500 hours of non-stop walking. But if you're on a pig using Entity Speed hacks, it would turn that 500 hours into about 10 to 20 hours. That's a lot shorter of a road trip than if you were just normally walking. Elytras are a popular method of travel for getting around on 2b2t. Players use the elytra in combination with fireworks to glide along the nether highways. Many hack clients include the mod Elytrafly, which allow players to use the elytra without ever falling down or having to boost themselves up using rockets. Sometimes it also allows elytras to maintain their durability. It was thanks to this module that certain milestones were achieved, such as the Armorsmith's successful journey to the End's world border corner. The elytra is an essential item for fast traveling in the end. Elytrafly is also automated by many hack clients, allowing for a player to AFK as they fly down the nether highways to make AFK travel possible with the help of baritone bots. This process can be somewhat tedious given 2b2t's low TPS. However, due to the incredibly fast pace of Elytrafly, many players now use it to travel on 2b2t. But unfortunately, Elytrafly hacks were patched in September of 2020, making fast travel much harder than it was before. This has also affected vanilla flight, making it buggy and risky to use. Finally, a workaround for Elytrafly hacks using the Elytrafly packet settings was found near the end of 2020. But this was also eventually patched in the beginning of 2021 by Housemaster. Boats historically have been used often, especially when escaping spawn for the first time, as you could travel tens or even hundreds of thousands of blocks thanks to 2b2t's enormous oceans and the Southern Canal Core. However, a player riding a boat is often kicked off as a result of 2b2t's low TPS. This makes boats difficult to use, as a method of transportation, and they are rarely used now. The hack named Boatfly is also a method sometimes used, although often patched. It was popular in late 2020. Boat Phase is an exploit that was discovered in 2018, which allows players to travel at very high speeds. Jordan 666 used this exploit in 2018 in hopes of reaching the netherworld border, but he only made it to about 20 million blocks out. My last major form of travel in this video is the Bedtp exploit. Bedtp was discovered by Cartman and Talo. The original form method involved setting up a nether portal next to a bed, waiting until nighttime, and then going through the portal before teleporting into the nether. The player then slept in their strategically located bed and automatically exited the bed in the nether, but at the coordinates of the bed's location in the overworld. It was used in the Grief of the Lands by Jared 2013 and Talo. The exploit was subsequently patched later on. With the release of the Bed God Mode exploit, which allowed a player to leave their beds while still communicating bed occupancy to the server, Bedtp became unpatched. The player could then go through nether portals to teleport to the nearest bed, which could be millions of blocks out. This exploit was also discovered by Cartman in mid to late 2016 and was patched in early to mid 2017. This version was used to bring the camping rusher to the lands. The discovery of an exposed bed chain to Cartman's base, La Rosa, led to its grief by Invictus in late 2016. With that being said, these were just a few ways how 2b2t players were able to exploit the way of travel. Never did I ever think that people would use beds to travel millions of blocks out in the nether. But then again, that's 2b2t for you. Players will always find a way to make the impossible possible. But other than that, that's it for today's video. I really do appreciate all the support that's been given to me, even though I haven't uploaded in a long time. Going from about 100 subscribers to 440 is just amazing to me. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it really would mean the world to me. Even if you can't subscribe, that's no big deal. You watching these videos does more support for me than anything. Another small thing in my uploads is I'm going to be uploading some other games besides Minecraft in the meantime. I don't really feel like making 2b2t videos unless I'm at my absolute greatest and have quality over quantity, which is why this video took so much longer to get out than the other videos I've uploaded. Not to mention school and work have been eating up all my free time as of recently, but that's okay. But that's it for today, guys. I'll be back.